This is a story of true love. Let me introduce you to two people, Daniela and Neville. Very different and yet so very similar. Growing up, Daniela loved animals, especially birds, digging in the mud, playing pranks on her teachers, writing stories and reading. Neville, on the other hand, loved collecting random bits of junk, cooking, watching horror films, and reading spine-chilling horror books. They were both quirky in their own special way, but one thing they definitely had in common: they loved to laugh. They enjoyed this beautiful, unpredictable journey called life. Sometimes it felt magical, and sometimes it felt like a never-ending roller coaster. They both dreamed of finding someone who would love them as they are, someone to share adventures with. Fast forward to 2018, on Neville's birthday, 24th of December, as he blew out the candles on a cake lovingly baked by his mum, he made a wish. He wished to meet a warm, kind woman he could share his life with. But life had other plans first. In 2020, Daniela faced the most heartbreaking year of her life. Her beloved dad, Ron, affectionately known as Old Bean, passed away. Grief-stricken, she gave up on love. She didn't believe that special someone existed anymore. Then, on her birthday in 2021, surrounded by girlfriends and laughter, she closed her eyes and made a wish. She asked her dad to send her true love. Meanwhile, Neville was training to be a science teacher at Peckham Academy. He too had suffered deep loss. In early 2021, his beloved father Frank passed away. His training was extended by one term, keeping him at the school just a little longer. At the very same time, Daniela, now an experienced English teacher trying to leave teaching to focus on her publishing business, received a call. She was offered a short-term supply teaching role at Peckham Academy. She had no idea that this short-term role would change her life forever. On her first day, trying to be organized, Daniela spent break time wandering the corridors, looking for her classroom so she could set up early. Meanwhile, Neville was in his science lab, prepping for his next lesson. "Excuse me, is this room 108? Neville looked up to see a beautiful woman standing at the door, asking for help. "Yes, this is room 108, he replied. "Well, I'm in here next. Just wanted to set up before the class comes in." "I don't think so, sweetheart," Neville said, shaking his head with a knowing smile. Peckham Academy had made another blunder. She'd been timetabled into the wrong room. Again. Daniela left the science lab just as the bell rang. Still no clue where she was supposed to be. But she did know one thing. She wanted to see Neville again. Over the next month, Neville asked colleagues if they knew who she was. He tried describing her, but no one seemed to know. Eventually, he started calling her the ghost of Peckham Academy. On the last day of term, it was Daniela's final day at the school, and Neville's too. She walked out of the gates and was halfway down the road when she heard a voice. "Hello there." It was Neville. They walked and talked down Peckham High Street. Daniela shared that she was an author and founder of a publishing company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. She helped people publish their books and share their stories. It turned out, by complete surprise, that Neville's sister was a published author of multiple books, and very good ones at that. So Daniela handed him her business card. It was her very last one. As she boarded the train home, she called her friend Nancy. "I think I've just met someone who's going to be very important," she said. A few days later, just before Christmas, Neville called. They chatted and laughed for hours. Soon, they were going on dates, sharing stories, and going on adventures together. The biggest adventure? Tanzania. A country very close to Daniela's heart. She had lived there 20 years earlier and had her very first teaching experience there. She'd always dreamed of returning with someone special. And just like that, on the 8th of August 2024, something magical happened. Neville proposed. The caring, supportive, loving relationship they had both dreamed of had finally come true. And that, dear friends, is why you're all here today. This isn't just a story of love. It's a story of hope. That there is someone out there for everyone. And sometimes, love can be right in front of you, in the wrong room, at the right time.